We've been away for a few weeks. It's been busy. So it's time to go wild. I know we've been off for a few weeks. It's been a busy time. But of course, it's still the Time to Go Wild Radio podcast, available by YouTube, Podbean, Google, and Amazon Podcasts. If you want to contact us at any point, it's Facebook or Twitter.com/TTGW Radio or email ttgwradio@outlook.com. You can also text 07849767755 if you've got questions you want us to pose in the post-match interviews or just general questions and queries. We are here for you if we're not around, but it does matter. We care. It's time to go wild. Hello and welcome to another Time to Go Wild Radio podcast. And an apology, of course, firstly for being away for the last few weeks. It's been a tricky time personally. I've been rather busy with a few items of things away from ice hockey, so not been possible to bring a podcast in that way. And I'm going to hit on a very touchy subject straight away. Get it out the bag now. Of course, as we are all aware, those of us who are wild ones, the Widnes wild form has not been particularly good of recent. And rather than trying to disturb the players in the post-match, it was felt best to let things settle, let the dust settle, and hope things work themselves out. So, this weekend just gone, well, let's just say it was exciting, I must admit. Saturday against the Solihull Barons was a thrilling game. Didn't quite work out the way we wanted, but compared to what we'd seen and the atmosphere in the rink and everything, I think we can all agree it was a much needed boost for the team. They could see that their heads were up and they were pushing and pushing and pushing. It was just that final bit where Solihull had a little bit more in the tank to take the win. But there's been an awful lot, of course, going on throughout British ice hockey. We'll touch on a couple of little bits of that in a little bit. But first, of course, we do the scores, and we're only touching on the last week or so. Well, the last week, really. It's that time again, isn't it? It's our roundup of the scores from the main leagues we can get the results for each week, and we will go back to we'll be going back to Friday, but we start with the Elite League Challenge Cup from Saturday, the 11th of November. Manchester Storm 1, Sheffield Steelers 4, Coventry Blaze 1, Guildford Flames 2 after overtime. On Sunday, Dundee Stars 6, Glasgow Clan 2. On Friday in the Elite League, Friday 10th of November, Cardiff Devils 4, Manchester Storm 3 after overtime. Five Flyers 4, Dundee Stars 6. On Saturday, Glasgow Clan 5, Five Flyers 6 after a shootout. Belfast Giants 2, Cardiff Devils 3. On Sunday, 12th of November, Sheffield Steelers 2, Coventry Blaze 1 after overtime. Guildford Flames 3, Belfast Giants 0. Moving to the National League now from Friday. Milton Keynes Lightning 5, Swindon Wildcats 3. On Saturday, Bees 3, Telford Tigers 2 after overtime. Bristol Pitbulls 1, Peterborough Phantoms 10. Raiders 4, Leeds Knights 6. Sheffield Steel Dogs 2, Hull Seahawks 3. Swindon Wildcats 4, Solway Sharks 6. And on Sunday, Hull Seahawks 10, Bristol Pitbulls 6. Leeds Knights 7, Raiders 2. Peterborough Phantoms 5, Bees 3. Solway Sharks 4, Milton Keynes Lightning 3. Telford Tigers 1, Sheffield Tigers 4, Sheffield Steel Dogs 1. Moving to, we're going to actually flip to the NIHL Division 2 North Ladler now, for a reason. On Saturday, Kingston Sharks 4, Altrincham Aces 6. Telford Tigers North 2, 4, Billingham Buccaneers 2. On Sunday, Altrincham Aces 3, Sheffield Titans 4, Billingham Buccaneers 11, Nottingham Lions North 2, 2. Bradford Bulldogs 2, Telford Tigers North 2, 9. Sutton Sting 2, Kingston Sharks 4. Moving back now to the NIHL Division 1 North Morley. On Saturday, Billingham Stars 5, Sheffield Scimitars 0. Widnes Wild 3, Solihull Barons 4. And on Sunday, Deeside Dragons 4, Hull Jets 1. Nottingham Lions 2, Billingham Stars 5. Whitley Warriors 3, Blackburn Hawks 2. Sheffield Scimitars 3, Widnes Wild 4, after a shootout. And that rounds up the scores for the last weekend. Well, what can we say? We will come back to the Division 1 North scores in a moment. Looking at the Division 2 first, Kingston Sharks seem to be getting a few goals in now. They've got a... Am I right? Did they beat the Sutton? Yeah, they did. They beat Sutton Sting by 4-2 on Sunday, so they're starting to find a little bit of form. The Billingham Buccaneers, another new team. They've absolutely hammered the Nottingham Lions North 2 on Sunday by 11-2, so they're trying to find a bit of a stride. Meanwhile, in the National League, poor Bristol have took a pasting with goals against. They lost 10-1 at home to Peterborough on Saturday, and then up in Hull, but losing by 10-6. Leeds Knights still putting quite a few in by beating the Raiders by 7-2. But the Solway Sharks are starting to find some form now in the National League. 4-point weekend for them, with a win on the road in Swindon by 6-4, and then beating the Milton Keynes Lightning by 4-3 on the Sunday. Now, we'll come back to the Elite League a little bit later on to discuss a few matters there. But in Division 1 North Morley, Billingham Stars still showing their form. 10 goals scored and only 2 conceded by a 5-0 home win against Sheffield Scimitars on Saturday, and then a 5-2 away win in Nottingham on Sunday. Deeside Dragons having a really good start to the season. 4-1 win over Hull Jets, who've been on a good run of form. And then the Widnes Wild, well, they were 3-2 up and just ran out of steam on Saturday in a thriller. Didn't give up the empty net goal, which was also a relief. But 3-4 winners on the night to the Solihull Barons. And I'm going to give a shout out to Danny Hyde. Lovely to see him again. And we wish him well down with the Solihull Barons. And we'll, of course, hopefully see him later in the season. A big friend of the show. Always gave us great interviews. And a good friend. But Sunday, well, it seemed to be a bit of a thriller down in Sheffield. The guys were 3-1 down at one point, if I noticed right from the game sheet, and pulled it back to 3-3, took it to overtime. No goals in overtime, then went to a shootout, and it's lottery time, and won it by 4-3 down in Sheffield. Well, every little counts, every little helps, every point matters. So, well... We didn't have, of course, the result from Sheffield, but after the result on Saturday against Solihull, I caught up with our captain, Tom Jackson, for a good chat, and we discussed a few of the situations that have occurred recently and the form, and this is what was said.
Well, it's been a busy couple of weeks. We've not had a podcast for a while for umpteen reasons, possibly because I've been busy. It's been tough for the Wild. They've had a tough night again. Solihull Barons in town. Big game. Tough night. It was almost, but I'd say a much improved performance. I've got our captain Tom Jackson with me. Tom, tonight. We'll just focus on that to start off with. How did that one feel?
Yeah, it felt good. It was obviously it's a difficult team to play against. They've got so much firepower on their first line. It's ridiculous. I think they've got all three of their top forwards are in the top 10 of scoring. So, you're always going to be up against a team like that. I felt like defensively we were good. We were solid. Like we just spoke in the changing room then at the end of the game, and there's not a lot of negatives to take from that game. We were quite positive. I think the result itself is different for us because obviously we've been not doing too very well recently, but it's something to learn off, it's something to build from, and that's like the stepping stone that we've set for ourselves now moving forward.
I mean, it's always one game at a time. The last few weeks, I'm not going to dwell too much, but it has been tough at the office. We could tell everyone was hurting after the last few results, home and away. Been some tight ones, been some not so tight ones. And of course, again, we're not going to dwell too much, but there's been changes made for changes reasons. That's what happens. So, it can shake things up. The dressing room has a lot to do, and it's still a lot of games to play.
Yeah, definitely. I think it has been a tough week for us. It's obviously there's been a lot going on for us. There's been two guys that we're quite close with, friends, and we've got friends, and everyone in that changing room sort of was friends with them guys off the ice. But Joey's made a decision that he's made for the on ice reasons, and we've got to move forward with that, regardless of what any fan or individual thinks. That's the decision that got made at the end of the day. So we've got to just move forward from there. And there's been a lot of social media stuff this week about the team and how it was handled and stuff like that. But Joey's a young coach. Like Joey's learning so much, and hands down, he's potentially one of the best coaches I've ever played with. So you can't fault him whatsoever. He's owned up to it. He's learned from it. It's it's always going to be a tough decision when you're getting rid of two guys that have been with the team for so long. So it's we just move forward. We go with what we've got. We thought we had 5D tonight. It was tough. I think a lot of us played like good 20 minutes at least of ice in that game. Some of us more. Special teams was good in the second period. We did, shut down some of their power play, and their power play is unreal. So, there's a lot of positives to take from that game, and I think as a team we are just going to be taking the positives moving forward. We're just going to learn from everything week in, week out, and try and get better every time.
Yeah, it is hard. We had that wonderful big win against Whitley, and then things just haven't quite clicked for a couple of games. But tonight, the performance, you could see from the first face-off, it was a much different click. As in, passes were coming together, passes were meeting sticks, players' positioning, awareness. It was a much different performance from the last couple of weeks. Last week against Hull, you've played there, juniors as well. You know how they can play. You know the difference between big ice and small ice. And they were pouncing. They were absolutely pouncing on every single play that was, available.
Yeah, definitely. I think we have to just take every team as it is. We've got quite a small rink here at Widnes. I feel like today we had, not a single guy in that dressing room didn't give everything that they had for the entire game. It's great in hindsight saying, maybe we should have made that pass or, scored that goal. But at the end of the day, we just got to find a way to score. And I think that's what we just talked about in the dressing room. It's like we had a good few opportunities, breakaways, goals that, questionably might have gone in or, and then got brought back for whatever reason. I wish it was VAR, but it's not. It's tough because, the bounces went our way and then they got brought back, and that's all we need. We just need a little bit of put luck every now and then. And I think recently we've just not been getting that. We've been battling, skating for, periods of the ice. Like I don't feel like we've played a full 60-minute game so far at 100%, other than that game at the start of the year against Whitley. So, we just got to find a way to get back to that standard, and just go from there. The guys that we've got in the dressing room, I think they speak for themselves. We all know they can put on points. They all know they can skate the puck. I think it's just to find a way of that grittiness to get that extra touch to score that goal.
We've been with the team for a long time, both of us. We've seen highs and lows. You know how to manage it. I mean, having the C is a tougher thing. You are the man with the little bit of the extra figurehead, but everyone plays their part, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's all good saying that I'm the captain and I've got the figurehead, but every single guy in that room is a leader. I don't think there's a single guy in there that if someone's talking, everyone listens. So I think we respect to each other quite well. It's just about that finding that way. And I know there's obviously been a lot of talk about getting full-time players and stuff, but full-time players, unfortunately, is just not available at the minute. We're struggling for guys, and we've brought in potentially some of the best young talent in the country in the guys that we've got from Scotland. And, we personally, I don't think it's an issue whatsoever, the players that we have. I feel like the numbers are good. The guys that we have at games, fair enough. It's different to trainings, but those guys play together all week in Scotland, and then they come down here, and they don't miss a beat, any of them. So they fit into the systems that Joey's playing. They do the job at the end of the day. So no one can really complain about the fact we've not got an import, we've not got this, we've not got that, but we've got to go with what we've got, and then we'll just find a way. And if we don't find a way, then we're pretty stuck, because ultimately everyone wants to score goals, everyone wants to get points.
I mean, it is a shame we've got we've had 3 big problems. Reece Edwards out, injured as well. We've got Hoppy's been out, injured. We've got Matty Barlow out, injured, who over the last year as well, important players, part of the squad. And so you're having to fill 3 big slots within the squad. And as you said, the additions and changes to the squad, they haven't really missed that beat, have they? And it's just getting that final touch.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like we have got 3 guys out that were massive for us last year. They put up a lot of points, regardless of them injuries. We've kind of gone with what we've got every week. I think everyone in the dressing room has got like some form of niggle, some like a muscle that's a bit tight or whatever from stuff. But we've got a great physio team, and we just go with you can't look at who you've not got every week. We just got to find out who we have got and find a way of winning. Hopefully, when we do get them guys back, Barlow, I think, and Reece is not too far in the imminent future. I don't know whether Hoppy's going to be good, but we'll see. We'll just, when they come back, it's about them guys getting back in the team, because it's competitive regardless of what we've got. I think we had like 4 lines of forwards tonight, so them guys have got to earn their ice time back, earn their spots, get back in the team, get in the right ways, and hopefully we just build on it every week, because we've got the talent in that dressing room 100% to do things in this league.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I've filmed the highs, I've filmed the lows, and it is about keeping the faith, keeping strong. The fans do make the difference. You could hear them tonight really getting that to dig in. It just didn't quite. It was one of those, to coin the phrase, almost but no cigar nights. But it was. You could see that it was there, and on another night it would have been so different.
Yeah, 100%. It's what we just spoke about in the dressing room when we came off. We just got to find that little extra bite, that little extra bit, whether it be extra few strides in the last 9 minutes of the game. I think they scored three goals or something like that within 5 minutes. So it's just about limitation. Doing our jobs, putting the extra little bit of effort in, regardless of your end of a shift or whatever it is, to find that little extra bit of energy, that bit of spark that we've got. And it is coming. I feel like it is. It's very positive in the dressing room at the moment. I feel like not a single guy in the dressing room. Obviously, everyone's a bit down about losing. No one likes losing, but not many guys in that dressing room tonight have got anything to worry about. They put everything that they could on the ice. They did a good job, and we just take it as it comes. We, like I said earlier, a bit of put luck. It could have been a different game. VAR, bring it in. EIHA, come on.
Oh, we can't quite go to Toronto for it, I'm afraid, Tom. But I mean, this is Saturday, an unusual home fixture for Wild. Tomorrow night it's down to Sheffield. Again, anything can happen on any day down there. So again, you just take it as it comes.
Yeah, definitely. It was weird tonight, coming on a Saturday, warming up in the dark at 7 o'clock for a 7 o'clock face-off. Sorry, but yeah, it's we go again tomorrow. Very, very short turnaround between tonight and tomorrow, so we've got to get our legs down and rest up with them in the morning, and we'll go again tomorrow.
Well, thanks for joining me. It's always good to have a chat. Take care and rest up well for tomorrow.
Thank you very much, Cole. Take care.
Thanks, Tom. It's always a pleasure to have a good chat with you. And, as we've said, the pair of us have been with the club a long time. We've seen the ups, we've seen the downs. And it is tough. It is tough. Every club can have these swings. I mean, only the other year, we were playing the Whitley Warriors in a promotion relegation game between Division 1 and Division 2. Billingham had a rough few years. Deeside have had some rough years. Every team can have rough years in the league. And at the moment, we've had that rocky start. But there is quality, there is depth in the squad. It's just a case of that little bit of magic happening, and our belief, and I must admit, the atmosphere on Saturday in Planet Ice Widnes was great. It was good hearing the crowd, getting back behind the team, willing them on, and you could just feel the extra energy coming through. Almost, but not quite there. But what can we say on that front? It was a cracking game. You couldn't go away overly disappointed. The result, yes. The result was disappointing. But the form, the way the guys played, the game in total, yet again, a Widnes Solihull game did not disappoint. And I'm really happy about that. And I think we can all be really happy with that, because it proves just how competitive the two teams can be any day, and have been pretty much since the first season. We did have some blowouts in Div 2 against them, they blew us out, but the games are always good. The games are always competitive in terms of the form on the ice. Solihull may have had the edge at times, but the style of play complemented each other so well, and they were genuinely entertaining games to watch, win, lose or draw. Well, a little breather as we move up to the Elite League now, and of course, one team that is absent at the moment from the Elite League fixtures are, of course, the Nottingham Panthers. And, of course, we are all aware of the sad events the other week in Sheffield, where former NHL player and member of the Nottingham Panthers, Adam Johnson, sadly lost his life in a how can we describe the accident? It's so strange. People have seen footage of what happened, and it is so shocking and distressing. And of course, our hearts and best wishes go out to Adam's family and friends. And you can just see by the outpouring of compassion and understanding and sorrow throughout all of ice hockey, not just in Britain, but overseas as well. The tributes that have been paid, it's just unbelievable. And it is understandable that the Nottingham Panthers fixtures have been allowed to be postponed for the time being. It is such a distressing time, and, what can you say? Other than it is so sad, so sad. Many of you are aware of the Adam Johnson GoFundMe page that has been set up to, for people to pay a tribute of some description. And I'm on it now as I record the show, and it's at £80,966. That is just, it's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And it is such a tragic event, and he, from what I could see, he looked like an absolute class player on the ice. The tributes that have been paid, everyone's had such kind words to say about him, and as ice hockey is, it's such a tight-knit community. Even when you look at North America with the National Hockey League, the AHL, and all of the ECHL, the CHL, and all of the other leagues in North America, throughout Europe, around the world, it doesn't matter how big, ice hockey's still tight as a community. Everyone feels, and you can hear it in my voice. It's hard to put into words how hard this is for everyone to deal with. So, again, there are sources out there that you can find. If don't be afraid to reach out if you are troubled by the events. There will always be somebody who will be willing to lend an ear, or at least put you in the right direction of a kind ear, someone who will just listen and help us all get through this very, very tragic, sad time. So, again, our best wishes do go to the family and friends of Adam Johnson. Now, we need to move on, of course, and keep going. And we're not having the naughty step this week, but we will go to a quick item of news and then on to a bit of table talk. The English national team programme, the ENTP, have confirmed the dates for their schedule. So there is several events coming up. They've got the Power of 12 training camp for Slovakia in January 2024. There's the Under-13s Boys Quebec Pee-wee Tournament, February 2024. And Tuku AA in April 2024. There's the Under-13s Girls in Orléans, France in May 2024. The Under-14s Boys, Tuku AA and Triple A, April 2024. Sorry, Turku. It might be Turku on the other one, because it might be a spelling mistake. There's the Under-15s Boys, Turku Triple A, April 2024, and in Tilburg AA, April 24. The Under-15s Girls in Sostin, Lithuania, May 24. And the Under-16s Boys, Finland Triple A, with the added possibility of watching some of the Under-18s Men's World Championship, and that will be in April 2024. If I've got any of the details wrong, I do apologise. I'm taking this straight from the EIHA website. Sometimes I get my words and bits turned in a bit of a knot. So check out the EIHA.co.uk website, and the details are on there. So, we should move to the standings now, as we look at the Elite League. First, and we're only going to do the league, we're not going to go with the cup at the moment, because there is some, we'll touch on that in a moment. For the Elite League at the moment, you've got the Coventry Blaze in 10th place on 8 games, 6 points. Five Flyers in 9th, 10 games and 8 points. Last year's High Flyers, the Guildford Flames, now 8th with 9 games and 8 points. The Glasgow Clan, who were struggling last year, have crept up this year to 7th so far, 8 games, 8 points. The Dundee Stars, 6th position, 9 games, 9 points. The Belfast Giants in 5th, 9 games, 10 points. Manchester Storm flying high this year, 10 games and 12 points. Nottingham Panthers in 3rd, 7 games and 12 points. Cardiff Devils in 2nd, 10 games, 14 points. And the Sheffield Steelers, top of the table, 8 games and 14 points. One reason we're not touching on the Challenge Cup is many of you will have heard recently as well that due to reasons we are very aware of, the Nottingham Panthers have withdrawn from the Challenge Cup. It is a tough decision. There's a lot of implications, of course, but it is a decision that has been made and undoubtedly has been made with the best interests of the players in mind. And we, of course, again, we do wish all the players and staff at the Nottingham Panthers well. Moving on now to the National League. 11th place is the Bristol Pitbulls, 14 games and 6 points. In 10th position, with 15 games and 10 points, it's the Solway Sharks. 9th position, Raiders, 15 games, 11 points. 8th position, Sheffield Steel Dogs, 14 games, 12 points. Swindon Wildcats in 7th, 13 games and 13 points. In 6th, it's the Telford Tigers, 15 games and 16 points. One of the strugglers from last year now, the Bees, are now in 5th this year, 15 games, 17 points. The Peterborough Phantoms, 4th, 16 games, 19 points. The other big strugglers from last year, the Hull Seahawks, this year currently in 3rd position, 13 games, 20 points. In 2nd, it's the Milton Keynes Lightning, 15 games and 22 points. And last year's High Flyers are still flying high this year. Leeds Knights, 15 games, 26 points, top of the table at the moment. Flipping now all the way down to Division 2 North Morley. Kingston Sharks finally off the mark, 11 games, 2 points, but in 9th position. But hot on the heels of the Nottingham Lions North 2 in 8th position, 11 games, 3 points. In 7th, it's the Bradford Bulldogs, 11 games and 5 points. And our neighbours down the road in Altrincham, in 6th, the Altrincham Aces, 10 games, 10 points. Sheffield Titans, doing well this year, in 5th position, 11 games and 11 points. The Billingham Buccaneers, one of the new guys into the league this year, they're flying high, 4th position, 13 games, 14 points. Coventry NIHL Blaze in 3rd, 12 games, 16 points. The Telford Tigers North 2, 2nd position, 11 games, 22 points. With the Sutton Sting at the top of the table, 14 games and 24 points. It's going to be a bit of a ding-dong there between Telford and Sutton, I think, for the title as it currently goes, especially with the maximum points possibility. As we now move to the Morley, Division 1 North Morley table. 9th position, Nottingham Lions, 12 games and 6 points. 8th position, the Sheffield Scimitars, 13 games, 7 points. Widnes Wild in 7th, 13 games, 8 points. A bit of a jump now to 6th. Blackburn Hawks, 12 games, 14 points, and they're level with the 5th place team of the Hull Jets, 12 games, 14 points. And they're hot on the heels of the Whitley Warriors in 4th, 13 games, 15 points. Only another point separates them from 3rd and 2nd, because in 3rd place at the moment, Solihull Barons, 12 games, 16 points, level with Deeside Dragons, 2nd place, 12 games, 16 points. But currently, top of the shop, Billingham Stars, 13 games, 20 points. So, a bit of a divide between 6th and 7th, and then 1st and 2nd, but between 2nd and 6th, 16, 16, 15, 14, 14. So, plenty of manoeuvring, still plenty of games to play, but who knows what is going to happen there. As we just fade that down, because, of course, this weekend for your YKK Widnes World, it was very much a crunch weekend, with all 3 of the bottom teams playing, and the game really between Widnes and Sheffield being a crunch game. There was a possibility that the YKK Widnes World could have ended up at the bottom of the table at the end of Sunday, but fortune favours the bold, the brave, whatever. Whatever's happened has happened. And the guys dug deep and have pulled it to 7th now. So there's 2 points between 9th and 7th. So it's 6, 7 and 8 for 9th, 8th and 7th, with your YKK Widnes Wild now in 7th position. It's a tough year. It's a very, very tough year. It's going to be. We know it's going to be. And in the end, half the time, it is faith, hope, and your support that will bring the team, and I'm going to be open with this one now, your team, whichever team it is. There is a bias from me towards the YKK Widnes Wild, but anyone listening to any team, your support is valued. Be it one person, be it 1,000 people, it doesn't matter. That support matters. and it is so appreciated by all the players, and that's going all the way from the under-9s doing their cross-ice games right the way through to the Elite League, and it also covers the women's, all of their leagues, and the rec leagues, and these para and special hockey, the lot. And I say this from the heart, your support, our support as supporters, it does matter. Now, last little bit to do is, of course, the housekeeping. If you want to find out anything to do with the YKK Widnes Wild, of course, there is the Widnes Wild website, widneswild.co.uk, and there's the social media outlets, which include Facebook and Twitter.com/WidnesWild, Instagram.com/WidnesWild official, the YouTube hub of Widnes Wild Ice Hockey Club, and I think there's TikTok as well out there. I can't remember the TikTok link, I need to find it again. But there's all those other links out there, and you can check those out. Of course, throughout the website, there's all the information on the own and loan shirts and ticket information and the Widnes Wild shop for your merchandise. And of course, we thank all of our sponsors. Title sponsor YKK. And then we have Wix, who sponsor the penalty boxes, Sigmatex, who sponsor the timekeeper's bench, Key and Eagle Digital Media, Foster 4, MPG, MJ Sports, Puck Drop, Shots by Steve, Bench Buddy, University of Salford, Planet Ice, The Hub. I think it's Newton Construction. I need to add it onto my list. I hope I've got the right one there. And of course, our charity, the Halton Haven Hospice. We thank all of them for the support throughout the season. And I just need to check if I've got my up-and-coming fixtures, which I haven't. I'm such a klutz this week. I haven't even got the up-and-coming fixtures ready. But what I will do, to prove this is pretty much live recorded, I'm just calling up the Widnes Wild ones for the coming week. Hear me clicking in the background. Here we go. So, fixtures up and coming for your YKK Widnes Wild, at least for the next few weeks. Right, here we go. We'll start with this one. On Saturday, the 18th, sorry, my eyesight's terrible. 18th of November, our under-12s are in Solihull. The under-18s Division 1 will be home against Leeds, and it's around about 6:30 face-off. On Sunday the 19th, our under-14s are in Nottingham. Our under-18s Division 2 are in Sheffield. And of course, your YKK Widnes Wild are home to the Sheffield Scimitars. And then for the 25th of November, our DMUK Widnes Wild women are in Telford. Our under-12s will be home against Telford. Oh, so Telford double there. Our under-18s, I'm not sure, Division 1 team will be in Nottingham. And then we've also got our under-14s at home against Coventry. So our home fixtures on the Saturday the 25th will start around about 4:15. So it's under-12s against Telford, under-14s against Coventry. And on Sunday the 26th of November, your YKK Widnes Wild are away in Billingham. And there is, if I'm not mistaken, some rec hockey hopefully happening that day. And it is the Cheshire Pistons against the Reapers. And that I've got is sometime around 6 p.m. So if you fancy some hockey on Sunday the 26th, the Cheshire Pistons will be at action at Planet Ice Widnes. Sadly, yours truly is unavailable for that one. And I do apologise, Cheshire Pistons. I'm sorry. Someone's dragging me to a family do. So, it's not my fault. Anyway, after that little debacle with the fixtures, God, I'm hopeless this week. It's a good job this is recorded, so you can just enjoy it and fast forward through the bad bits, or I might just edit it out. You'll find out when you hear it. What can I say? It's been an up and down few weeks in the world of ice hockey, of course. and it's been an up and down few weeks for myself as well. But hopefully everyone is still keeping well. Everyone is still enjoying their ice hockey wherever they're getting it. And we do appreciate all of us support, encouragement, and just being there for each other. So anyway, that about rounds it up for this particular podcast. Bit longer than I thought it was going to be as well. My ramblings. All I can say is take care. Catch up with you the next time we have another podcast. If not, I'll catch up with you at another game, all being well. From the Time to Go Wild podcast for another week. Take care and I'll catch you soon. Till then, ta-ra!